This game is Ms.
No, there was a dude behind him.
Bruh. Oh, bullshit,
God,
man.
Jeff.
Dude! Hi, I'm Matt, and we're playing through Uncharted 2 on brutal difficulty. We're starting here on Chapter 6 with a modest 144 deaths already. And let's just see how it goes.
Chapter 6, I believe.
Chapter 6 opens with a huge multi-stage arena, not even a warm-up or anything. The first death also comes pretty immediately. It's about here when I realize that Chloe actually throws a grenade to distract every enemy, so I use this opportunity to take out this truck enemy because he has an RPG and that'll put in a lot of work this first stage. Like here, I'm able to get the riot shield guy with the RPG instead of using a grenade. I'm also able to get some well-placed West 44 shots, but
No, there was a dude behind him. I didn't even see that guy.
a few deaths later, and I'm cruising. I get to the second wave of enemies, and it's mainly black shirts, which, if you don't know, are like gray shirts, but with a little more emotional trauma. Chloe also helps a ton here if you're patient, which I was, until I wasn't, and an enemy snuck up on me.
No, son of a bitch.
Hey, at least I made it to a checkpoint though, so now all I have to deal with is the truck turret and a couple of enemies. Oh, and the game killing me in a forced camera angle cutscene. Oh, God. It takes a few runs, but I figure out that the best way through this arena is to actually go all the way around it and throw a grenade into the truck. Then sneak back around the way you came in to flank the enemies that are trying to flank you. After finding the last enemies, I collect as much ammo as I can before ascending this hotel. Once we make it inside, we're confronted by our first brute of the game, and it scares me so much I nearly die in real life. 2 grenades later though, and he's down.
Not an issue.
After skipping a cutscene, we're getting closer to the top of the hotel. Nate does his best American Ninja Warrior impression hundreds of feet in the air before we make our way to the next set of enemies.
And I don't know if that's the strat is to like throw and shoot propane.
A few moments later.
From one weird strategy to the next, I instead wait on the ledge for all 3 enemies to come to me, which makes it extremely easy to get them all with a single grenade.
Yeah, man, that works.
I then continue up the building until I encounter a bridge that I think is gonna blow up, but instead I get ambushed by enemies.
Oh, I was trying to get the propane.
Making it past that, Nate decides he can't handle it anymore and just freaking jumps. That's awesome. Not.
Thanks.
I believe I can fly. I believe.
Nope.
What it would be awesome though is you subscribing, so thanks in advance. After taking out another enemy, we open the elevator for Chloe and make our way to the top of the hotel. Finally, we trust this random rope and zip line down without a break and survive by just doing a little parkour rollout. We start climbing across this bridge when a freaking helicopter starts shooting us, and that can only end one of so many ways.
Or I guess rather running towards a helicopter.
This section is especially miserable because you can't deal with both the helicopter and the ground enemies at the same time.
See, look, it drops me there. How am I supposed to get up? Oh, that's dumb as fuck, Nate. Oh my God.
And I already know what you're gonna say. Well, like, why don't you just jump to the roof to deal with the enemies first? Shut up, it doesn't work. I tried that already.
That I can... Nope. Slim to none, actually. Chances of making it over slim to none.
I'm
Throw grenades.
finally able to cheese
And when they
it by
do that,
waiting
that's
until
the
the
time.
enemies are about to throw grenades and then shooting them so they blow themselves up. But
no, no, no,
nothing
no.
good lasts forever.
No. Go, 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 go. No. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's shotgunners and everything. Oh.
Nice. No, really, because the checkpoint is on the
but it's gonna
roof.
start-
So after taking out these
There we go,
enemies,
there
we
we go.
run through a collapsing building, but die to a big explosion. Which, like, fair.
Okay.
Now, I feel the need to address something. Why does this exploding
gonna blow
wall
up that wall?
not kill these enemies? But, and I've slowed the
does, but
footage
it's
down
back.
for you in case there's any confusion, getting lightly tapped by a grenade kills me instantly.
Damage them at all.
Son
While blowing
of
up an entire
bitch.
wall.
A few deaths later, and I realize that it's way easier to rapid fire this enemy than trying to melee him like a frickin' idiot. Past them, I fall essentially to my death and then get spawn killed immediately after.
gonna start
Okay,
down. It's just
that
gonna
was
go.
pretty annoying,
It's just gonna
but
go.
hopefully that never happens again. This section is just so miserable.
Like, what am I supposed to do?
Eventually, I do figure it out though. You have to stand just behind where the enemies are dropping in and then melee them as soon as possible. It's stupid, but it works, so I'm not gonna complain. After jumping out of the crumbling building and into another building that's completely safe somehow, we grab a fresh West 44 and walk off the soreness like it's nothing. We jump to the next rooftop and have a great grenade throw, only to be sniped from nowhere. Then I decided to see where the shot was coming from, and sure enough, it's just from the first set of enemies in the next arena. So I throw a grenade to take them all out before jumping over. This arena is supposed to be pretty difficult, but if you're pretty quick about it, it's actually not. On brutal difficulty, the helicopter takes 12 shots from the grenade launcher, which is a full 3 reloads. That sounds like a lot, but if you aim for the propellers instead of the body and you lead it a little bit, this becomes very easy, very quickly. I get it on my second try, and I even miss a few shots.
There we go. It just needed one more. Okay.
From here, it's rooftop to rooftop, and another fall that would kill a normal human. But like, it's Nate, so come on.
Concussion, broken back.
This does split us up from Chloe though, so we have to climb over the conveniently placed helicopter crash and head into Chapter 7. Chapter 7 starts with Nate reuniting with Elena from the first game and her new cameraman, Jeff. Nate is coping so hard that he dies before the chapter title even fades away. Making it past them, we go through big wooden doors and into one of my favorite puzzles of the game. You have to throw and shoot these propane tanks to dislodge these floating cars so you can jump on something to cross the river. Okay, it's not much of a puzzle, but it's still super fun. On the other side, we enter a small U-shaped arena that is the definition of miserable.
Dude, why is it that when I flash somebody, it's like I just slapped them in the face with a fucking napkin from a little kid's birthday party? But when I get fucking flashed, it's like some big blonde black dude in fucking police with a fucking bed sheet over my head and just proceeds to skull fuck me. Because I spawn die, spawn die. Spawn die. Spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn die!
Once I finally reach the turret, I happily turn it on every enemy shooting at my companions. Then we climb a pipe, shimmy across a ledge, walk into a giant temple, and into Chapter 8.
Chapter 8, the city's secret.
In the temple, we're faced with a giant statue puzzle. After consulting the notebook, the first arm to move will be the top right or the statue's top left. Then we climb around, and if you want to be the most efficient, move the bottom arm first, unlike me, before moving the top arm. Doing this sends us into a cutscene that reveals a secret tunnel at the bottom of a drained pool.
Ooh, secret tunnel.
We run through the ruined and flooded tunnel until the end, when the floor suddenly opens beneath us. Inside, spikes are closing in on us, and we have to shoot out the teeth of the gear that controls them. We exit the booby trap and enter Chapter 9.
Was that like the chapter? I kind of forget.
Booby.
Yeah, Path of Light.
Chapter 9 opens into a huge room. We love a good puzzle moment. The object here is to lower all 3 sides of the giant dagger hanging from the ceiling. We move the first mirror to unlock the first side. Duh. Then we climb up it and across it to unlock the second side. Then we try to climb up the third side, but it breaks before we get there and crashes into the ground. Luckily, we're still able to move the third mirror to unlock the third side of the dagger. Oh, and here's something I didn't realize as a kid. This puzzle is literally a dagger stabbing a person in the heart, like a human sacrifice. Talk about dark, dude. That completely went over my head as a 14-year-old. Anyway, we climb into the now open mouth of the statue, skip a cutscene, and climb back out into Chapter 10.
Chapter 10. Only one way out. We are making progress, dude.
And yes, it starts in an arena because it's been too long since we've shot anything, and Nate's trigger finger's getting itchy. You can stealth this first group of enemies, but you're pretty much guaranteed to get spotted on the stairs.
Oh shit. Damn it, dude.
Once you get past that, enemies are shooting at you and force you back into the booby trap room. But it's nearly impossible since you're shooting into the dark and the flashlight doesn't do jack. This whole section is quite miserable, if I'm being completely honest.
No, he shoots me like right as I shoot him.
After grinding through this group of enemies, we make it through the booby trap room, which I guess has an exit on the other side now, and into another group of enemies, including another brute.
Okay, well,
Awesome. But just like last time, he only takes 2 grenades, so it's not actually that bad. Just past them though, there's a fork in the road where you or enemies can go down either side, and best of all, there's no checkpoint.
oh, yep, right here. It was interesting how the grenade shadow was forming on the wall.
And again, I
like,
already
it
hear your
feels really
keyboards
quiet.
clacking away. Matt, like, why don't you just go to the other side? Because I tried it and it doesn't work. Did you not just see the picture I had here with the cow and the... Whatever, man. Eventually, though, I slow way down.
Headshot.
I make it through the hallway, climb up the stairs, and wind up back in the drained pool from Chapter 8. We get introduced to the pistole, which is great, but then I immediately dump all the ammo into
I'm
this
just gonna
brute.
use it on this guy.
No regrets. Then we make our way back outside into the pouring rain just to die a few more times and find out that Jeff has been shot. Chapter 11 is like every gamer's worst nightmare chapter, except this game actually does it kinda well. We have to drag Jeff through a literal war zone and occasionally shoot enemies. And even though there's infinite ammo here, Nate still felt like reloading for some reason, so that sucks for me.
You're done. What was that? What was that? Like, I don't know what to do against that.
Then it hits me. No, I'm not talking about gunfire. I figure out that if you stand behind this part here, you're able to use active cover to take out the enemies just ahead of you. We make our way onward, and there's another turret truck that's trying to get us now. I would say it's bad, but it blows up this glass window, which is what we need to keep moving forward. It's nice because it saves us a lot of ammo, but it's not nice because...
Guess I'll just stand in the fucking open because I don't know where to be.
Miraculously, I'm able to stand next to the exploding glass and not get harmed at all. But then Elena shoves me through the doorway and I die instantly. Thanks.
Oh my god, Elena pushed me out the fucking way. Now she's just running in place.
And just as I passed 250, I finally made it so close to the end, right as Jeff lost his grip.
Oh my god, Jeff. Dude!
Come on, man. Would it kill you to just,
animation just
you know,
happened
get a
anyway. I
grip
couldn't
here?
have
Oh,
controlled
it would?
that.
Fine. But then I finally make it through by shooting enemies through the broken window and sprinting for the exit.
Okay, come on. Yeah, hit Jeff. Hit Jeff instead of me. Jeff can take it.
After making it up some stairs, Elena
gotta
and I
run.
start running in a Crash Bandicoot style sequence. It's honestly
Come on,
pretty
come
fun,
on, come
but I
on. I
do
don't even know
nearly
where Elena
die,
is at this
and I
point.
lost Elena.
Elena is not behind me.
Making it to the end, I just jump the
And
barrier
skip
and
cutscene.
land in the death recap. This episode was somehow pretty miserable, but also like not at the same time. Chapter 6 kicked things off with 54 deaths, scooting it into 3rd place for most deaths in a chapter, right behind chapters 3 and 4. Chapter 7 went way down to 11 deaths, and chapters 8 and 9 went even lower somehow with 0 deaths. 0! That's now 3 chapters in this game with 0 deaths. Chapter 10 climbed right back up to 33 deaths, and then chapter 11 lowered the average again with 9 deaths. Altogether, this episode added 107 deaths to the counter, marking the series total at 251 deaths so far. I think the dumbest death was probably when Nate jumped off the frickin' beam without even a second thought, because like that was just so unnecessary.
I believe I can.
That's gonna do it for this video though. I hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as I've enjoyed making it. If you did, clicking that like button would be super helpful, and if you want to be really awesome, you can even hit subscribe too. Thanks so much. I'll leave a link to the previous episode in the description below, as well as the whole playlist and all my socials in case that's more your speed. I hope you have a very happy holidays and a happy new year, whether you're celebrating Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Festivus, or anything else. I hope you have a very happy celebratory season and that everyone stays safe and jolly. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. See you next year. Oh, and the game's screwing me over by killing me in a forced cutscene angle shit. Then I sneak around back the way I came in to nope. You're just kind of standing there and then your foot's like, but what if it just hurt really bad? All right, finally got it done.